to our video today on Halloween memories. Now, this instruction sheet that comes in our Stampin' Up kit, I believe is incorrect, so I'm going to put it over there. I've just gone and printed out the new one, hopefully. So if you have bought this kit through me and you need the link, please let me know and I will send you the link so you can print out the new instruction sheets. But we are going to go through it a little bit, part 1 and part 2. So I think we'll go through part 1, cutting up all our paper and measurements and everything like that. And then we will go into doing our page put together so we can put our layouts together. So let's come down to our workbench. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Teresa Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia and have been for 18 years. At present, I'm 6th top demonstrator in Australia, and I love to scrapbook. This is the first time I've ever done a kit through Stampin' Up because these are very, very new. So I'm a little bit excited. So I think we'll just start off with pulling out what's in the kit. I think that's probably the easiest way to start. Okay, so you've got 2 pages of the spider web around the outer edge. They've got blank on the other side. Okay, then we've got 2 pages of the grid. Okay, now this one is the one that's coming up that we need to use, and it's got this on the other side. So this is on the front and this is on the back. So we're going to cut it as we go along, as we come across the paper, because I think that's going to make it easier for me. So what I have also done is grabbed a small packet of Post-it notes. Where's my little packet of Post-it notes? Here. So a little packet of Post-it notes so I can write down or stick on these what I'm doing. So this one is telling me that it's going to be 3 inches. So we're going to line that up at 3 inches and we're going to cut it at 3 inches. So on here, it's got 2A on the instruction sheet. So I'm just going to put 2A and add that to this piece of paper as we go. So I know that that's the 2A piece. Believe me, I'm hoping this is the right way to do it because, like I said, I haven't done it before myself. So now this one, the next cut on this is telling me 9. So this is 9. So it's telling me to turn it around and cut it again at 9 inches. So I'm going to do that. And this one is saying A1. So Post-it note again, we're going to cut, oh no, 1A, sorry, 1A. So I'm going to cut 1A. I'm going to put that on there. So I'm popping that one over there as well. This one, where it's blank on the instructions, is saying that that's a free piece. So I'm just going to pop that over there. We've got nothing to go on to that one. Now it's telling me that I'm going to do exactly the same for the other side. So it's 3 by 12. So I'm going to do again 3. And this time it's telling me to put 2F. So I'm going to put 2F on this one. So that one's 2F. And I think somehow this might be the easiest way to go through and do this. And then this one's going to come around again to 9 inches. So that's going to be 9 by 9. So we'll put that one there. And this one is going to be 1F. 1F. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to do this with all the pieces, and then I will sort them out. So there's 2 pieces here that haven't got anything on them, so I'm just going to sit them up there. And these pieces are all done here like this. So I'm going to move them just over there. I'm not sure what else goes with that, but let's just do that to start with. Okay, so on the next layer, it tells you a lot more of what we're going to be looking for. So on this one, it's got, let's have a look at this one. We have 2 sheets of this one, and it's got blue stripes on the back. Okay, so on this one, we're going to be cutting a 1/2 by 12. So a 1/2 inch by 12. So we're going to do that 1/2 inch. And that one is going to be 3J. So we're going to put 3J on that one. And as I do them, I'm going to just pop them across here on the side, 3J. And then this one is going to be 6 by 12. So we want this one at 6. So we're going to cut this one at 6. So we're going to do that. And this one is 3I. I think it's an I. 3I. So we're going to write 3I on this one. On that piece. Now you can see why I sort of said, I think we'll just do the cutting in the first one, because I haven't actually done this myself. So I thought, well, we need to do this. So this one here is 2.5, 1 inch by 2.5. So if we come 2.5 first, I'm going to cut that through. And then I'm going to put that side over there out of the way. And then on this one, I'm going to cut this at 1. So, oh no, I'm not sure. What did I do wrong there? 1 by 2.5. So that's 2.5. Or maybe it should be 1. Actually, I think it's 1 this way. And 2.5 the long way. Okay, let's cut this at 1. See, it's very easy. You've got to just concentrate on the instructions. But that's all right. So 1, that's better. I'll put that one over there. And then we're going to cut this at 2.5. I'm looking at it thinking, that doesn't look right. So 2.5, and that's 2K. So I'm going to put 2K on that piece. And then the next piece is going to be 1/2. So the next are all 1/2. So we're going to come down with a 1/2. So we're going to bring this over to the 1/2, which I'm coming over onto this side this time because it's a little bit easier to do that. Now, if you're doing a 1/2 on here and you sort of like think, God, this is a narrow piece, how am I going to hold that into place? Grab yourself a Post-it note. This is a great little tip, especially for scrapbookers and card makers alike. So, and then bring this to your 1/2 and your 1/2, and then use this as a finger. Then you can come down and you can actually cut that, and it's perfect because it's not moved. Okay, so we're going to put this side over there, and we're going to bring this one. So this one's going to be 2.5 as well. So a 1/2 by 2.5. And this one is 3G. So we're going to do 3G on this one and put that one over there. And then we're doing another 2.5. Another 2.5. And this one is a 3N. Okay, so we're going to mark this one off at 3N, N for nanny. Okay, and then the next one is going to be exactly the same again, 1/2 by 2.5, and it's going to be 3R. So 3R. Okay, so now we've got our 3R piece. Now we're going to put them all over there because they're all done. So I'm just putting them to my side table. You might need a cuppa while you're doing this and have a drink. Okay, so on this sheet here, we've just done this bottom one here. Okay, we've just done this bottom one here. So we've cut our measurements here, our 1/2, our 12 by 1/2, so 12 centimeters by 1/2, and then 6 by 12, and then we've done our measurements all down here. Okay, so our next piece of paper is not this one, so we'll move that one over there. And it's this one here. So this is black at the front and green to the back. Okay, so this is going to be cut at 7 centimeters by 5. So we're going to cut this at 7 inches. Sorry, I'm so used to doing centimeters that I said centimeters. It's inches. 7 inches. So we're going to cut that down. So this is going to be a spare piece. So we're going to put that there. We're going to make some cards out of the spare bits by 5. So we're going to cut this one at 5. And this one is 3B. So this is why I said it's really handy to have these little post-it notes to write on, because we need to cut all our pieces out first. Well, I feel that anyhow. So now we've got our paper going this way. We are going to cut 1 inch. So we're going to cut it off at 1 inch. It's actually very interesting the way this is all put together, because it makes it a little bit easier once you know how to cut it. And this is going to be 4 1/4. So on your ruler you've got 4, and then you've got the next big one. You've got 3. You've got a little one, a little bit bigger, a little one, and then a bigger one again. That's your 1/4. Okay, so you're going to cut that off at your 1/4. So that's 4 1/4. And that one is, what piece is that? 2J. 2J. So we're going to put that over there. And then this piece should be 2 1/4, 2 3/4, which is exactly right. Okay, so that's exactly the right measurement, that piece. You don't have to recut that one, but that is 2D. Okay, so over we come onto 2D. Okay, so that's our first lot. And then our second lot, our paper goes down this way. And if you're not sure which way your paper's going, just look here, because it's showing you this is the direction the paper's being cut. Okay, so we're cutting it this way. So we've done our first panel. So now we're up to our second panel, which is 1 inch again. So we're going to cut that off at 1 inch. And like I said, if you're not sure or you feel like you need an extra pair of hands to hold it, you can just use a post-it note. So 1 inch, and then this second piece is going to be cut at 4 1/4. So 4 1/4, so that bigger one. Okay, so this one is 1J. 1J. Have I already done that? No, that's 2J. This is 1J. 1J. Okay. Don't confuse yourself, Teresa. 1J. And then you're going to have the next piece, you're going to cut at half by 2 1/2. So I'm going to cut it at 2 1/2 first because it's showing me I'm going to be cutting a tiny little bit off, and then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to cut it at a half. So that's half of that, which is exactly right. Now this is where you might want your spare fingers to come in again. Okay, so you might want to line it up at the half and then put that extra there so you can hold it. Now you've got your 2 pieces that you want here. And these 2 pieces are one's 2L. 2L is one piece, so 2L is 1. And then 2K is the, 1K is the next one, 1K. So 1K is the next one. So we're going to put that over there. Okay, so the next piece we're going to grab, that piece again. And this time it's going to be 1 by 3. So we're going to come in by 1. And we're going to cut it at 3 inches here. And then we're going to cut it at 3 inches also here. And it's going to have a little bit off the bottom. Okay, so you're going to cut that little bit off the bottom. So this one, the top one that we cut is 3T, and the bottom one we cut was 2E. Now don't forget you can rewind this and slow it down and copy it exactly as I am. So the next piece here is going to be half. So we're going to come in at half. Now it's really hard coming off the edge here. I like to come over onto my other part of the ruler there, because then that way my paper is sitting nice and flat here. Okay, so it's sitting nice and flat on the board. So I can line it up exactly on that half, and I've got it nice and smooth and easy to work. So half, and this one is going to be 3. So we're going to cut that off at 3 inches. And this particular one is 3P. 3P, P for Poppy. Okay, 3P. And then we have got another 3. So we're going to cut this off at 3 again. And this one is going to be 3Q. Okay, so that one's going to be 3Q. Then we're going to have a little bit left, just a tiny little bit. And then we're going to do that again. We're going to line up 1/2 inch again. Okay, 1/2 inch. How's everyone going? It's a little bit tricky when you first start, because you sort of got to get used to what you're doing. And this is going to be 3 again. And this one is going to be 3U. I do think it's easier to mark all your pieces out first, okay? And then we can sort through them when we got on the pictures. And then we've got 3 again. and this one is 1E. 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 So we put that over there. Then we're going to do it one more time with half. So line him up right up against the top of your ruler, and we're going to do that measurement one more time, 3 inches. And we're going to write that one down. It's 1D. 1D, make sure we do our writing right. 1D. And then we're going to do another 3. And that one is going to be 3H. 3H. Okay, so there you go, 3H. So we've got that one done and that one done. Now we're going to come to the top 2. So I'm going to move this one over here. So we're going to do the orange first. Now the orange is showing you that the dark bit's up the top, the light bit's underneath. Can you see how this is light? This is our new two-tone. It's absolutely beautiful paper. So we have the dark, which is we're going to be facing upwards. So our first piece we're going to be cutting at 4 1/4. So we're going to be doing a whole strip down at 4 1/4. Okay, so we're going to put that just aside for a minute, and we're going to turn this around and we're going to cut it at 6 1/4. I'm going to put that there, and this is the tricky bit on here on our ruler. If you can't quite see where it is, I'm just going to grab my little ruler up here. Grab my ruler. Okay, so if you're having trouble seeing where your 6 1/4 is, bring your 6 1/4 to your cut line, and where that edge is, where that number 1 is there, you can sort of see it's right there. Okay, you know, and sometimes you might get a white pen or a white something to measure that if you need to, like you can mark it, but it's the first little line past that join. So that's your 6 1/4. Okay, so this one's 2B. So we're going to write this one down, 2B. And pop that on there. And then our next piece here is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So we're going to come back to that quarter there. So that should be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And that one is 2I. Okay, and then you've got a little bit here that should be 1 1/4, which is right there. So you can cut it off at 1 1/4. So you're just going to have a tiny little bit left, and then you're going to turn it and swing it around to 3 1/4. Okay, so you're going to have that right up there, which is really lovely. So this one is now 2M. 2M. We'll pop that one on there. Okay, so then we've got this next piece that we've taken off. So we've got our dark side up again, and we're cutting this at 4 1/4 again. So 4 1/4. So we're going to save this bit here 4 1/4, and we're going to turn it around to 6 1/4 again, which is that first little notch where the join is, the first little notch down the bottom, which is your 4 1/4. Oh, wrong one. And this piece is 2C. 2C. Okay, and then this little piece is going to be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So back to the 4 1/4. So this should be 4 1/4. So if you swing it around, it should be 4 1/4. Okay, so it should be 4 1/4 in both ways. Okay, so 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 2H. This little piece is. Okay, and then this little piece is white on the pattern, so it's spare. So we'll just put that with the spare paper. Now this piece here is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we want to make sure that this is 3 1/4. So we're going to be trimming a tiny little bit off, and we can trim this. I'm going to turn it around and do 3 1/4 this way, 3 1/4 this way, and then I'm going to turn it back around and do 3 1/4 this way. It's just going to have a tiny little bit off the end there. Make sure it's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and that one is 2G. 2G. Okay. So we've got our other little piece here at the moment, and it's going to be 3 1/2, which is 3 1/2. Okay. And we're going to cut that off. It's going to be 3, not 3 1/2, because we're going to be cutting a little bit off. You can sort of see by the pattern that there's a little bit of a white line. So we're going to cut that because all the other pieces are 3. So we're going to cut that off. So it's 3, and then we're going to turn it around to 3 1/2. So we're going to cut that off at 3 1/2. And that one is 3M. And then we're going to cut this one off at 3 by 3. So this one is 3 by 3. I'm not sure what just fell on the floor, but something did. 3 by 3. And it's 3E. 3E. And then the next little piece here, you're going to be doing halves. So you're going to do a 1/2 inch. So line it up to your 1/2 inch. So you're going to do 1. So it's going to be 3 by 1/2 inch, 3 by 1/2 inch, and then 3 by 1/2 inch. And then you're going to have a little bit left over. Okay, so that little bit's going to be left over, and that's going to go there. So these 3 are 3F, F for Freddy, which is the first one, and then 3-0 or 3-0 is the second one, and then the third one is 3S. 3S, and that's going to be that one. Okay, so that's our orange done now on that one. Now we've got, I'm just going to put this over here for a minute. So we've got our next colour here is grey, but we're not cutting the grey, we're cutting the purple. So then we've got green. I'm going to just pop them over that side for the moment, and we're going to come in with the purple piece. Now we've got the dark, which is the top, and then the light. Can you see the difference when you turn it over? This one, this light, and this is dark. So the dark for the top. Let's cut this one up. Okay, so this one we're going to cut at 4 1/4. So we're going to cut it down at 4 1/4. So don't forget it's your 4, then you've got a little mark, a little bit bigger mark, a little mark, and then the bigger mark, which is the 1/4. Okay, so we're going to line it up at that 1/4. Okay, make sure it's nicely tucked up onto your page there. We're not using that bit, so we're putting that aside for the moment, and we're just using this one, which is going to be 6 1/4. So it's going to be that last little mark over here. You've got your joint here, and then it's going to be the mark right underneath it on the inch, which is the bottom mark down here. So 6 1/4, and this one is 3C. Okay, so then that's that one. And then this one is going to be 3 by 3. Okay, so it depends how you want to cut this. You can cut it down 3, or you can cut it 3 this way, which I'm going to cut 3 to start off with, which is going to give me this little bit left, and turn it around and cut it 3 this way. Okay, so now I've got a 3 by 3, and this one's a 1G. So you need a little bit of room when you're cutting this up so that you can put your paper that you're not using. I've got a stack over here that I'm using. I've got a little bench here with all my papers on, so I've got my ones that I'm cutting out there, and then the ones that I haven't cut out yet here. So that's our second page. So we're going to come into our dark, which is our black. So we're going to come back with a black sheet. Now, I've got a feeling these are for your photos, so I'm going to leave the black until last because our photos could be a different size. So I'm just going to leave that one for the moment. I've just got to look at the picture. Let's have a little look at the picture, but I've got a feeling the black is a matte. So I'm going to leave the black just for the moment. And this is the white, and I'm not sure what the white's for. I'm just going to look through here. No, I'm not quite too sure. It could be for words or something. So I'm just going to leave the white for a minute. Okay, so when we're up to here, the black and the white, we then start the next layout. So I'm going to leave that just for the moment, and then we're going to sort our papers out. It looks like the white's all cut up here, or they're templates. These could be templates. Okay, it looks like they've got templates all cut there for you, which is a great idea. You can always cut your cards down to them. So let me put them over there for the moment. Now we're going to come back to this first page. Going to come back to the first page, so I'm just going to bring the pages back over to where I was started. Okay, we'll just bring those two here. So that's the black and the white one there. Now this one looks like, I'm just looking to see what's the bottom of this one. So this one looks like it's got, looks like it might have a black. Okay, let me look at that black again because I didn't think that looked very big. No, the black looks very small, so they do look like mattes. Okay, so what we're going to do, I think we've got this one cut out and maybe part of this one cut out as well. because we've cut these out and we've cut some of these out. So let's go with this one up here. So I'm looking for the orange polka dot to start off with. Let's see if we can just see how we go. I'm not quite sure where the orange polka dot is. Oh, there's one, my little mat's gone down on the floor. That's all right. So we're starting off with white pages. Okay. We are going to work this out because I'm not too sure. Oh, so this one we're starting off with the, this one. Okay, we're starting off with this one. I can see, can you see how this has got the border around it now? Okay, I can see that. And okay, here we come in here and we've got, so I'm going to go to the back of the book. This one here. Yes, this one here. And it's got all the pieces marked down on here. So you've got your A1, which is here, which is going to go into your center. Okay, so this is going to go into the center here. Okay. Prepare for both pages. So we're prepared for the 2 pages. So this one's going to go on here. Now, excuse my arm for a minute. They do suggest to use this stamp and seal. So I am going to just add a little bit of stamp and seal to each corner and bring this one down. So that was our first measurement that we used. So we might be 1 page at a time and then we'll start the next one. So it's also telling you that you can do stitching around here using your stamp and right marker. So it's telling you can do that as well, but we'll leave that just for the minute. Now it's also working out our photos. So the next piece it's telling us we've got 1E. So you're going to look through your pieces and find 1E. I'm just looking, just turning them up as I go through. See if I can find 1E. And so I'll just find the 1E. Okay, so 1D, 3, 1E. So you've got your little 1E here. This is going to go up the top here like this. Now before I put any more together, I think we'll start another YouTube page to put all this together because it's going to go in too long otherwise. So this is how we're going to start. This is our first section of cutting all this up. So we've cut this up and now we'll get all our pieces together and we'll start the next one so that the videos don't go for too long and you can rewind them and look. So this is part 1. So I'll see you all back here very, very shortly for part 2. Bye for now.